today, they are not happy at all about their run today because they're so poor Jodgers comes from a region where their top rep is their best player is a Steve. Their second best player is a Kirby, and their third best player is a Pac-Man.
Please.
And so Jodgers is of that kind of mentality where it's like, I have to defeat the dishonorable, right?
Yeah.
And I have to save Smash. And so going up against a Shoto, he was not too happy there, no.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the only time I can imagine someone's not happy to be fighting against not fighting against a zoner. So in this situation, I will say this matchup can be kind of dangerous. We're already taking it to FD on game one, and that's a bold strategy.
It is.
We'll see if it works out for him.
Well, we certainly will there, Cotton, as, oh my goodness, looks like we're just feeling each other out right now. Jodgers not committing to any sort of intense ledge trap maneuvers right now, just trying to find Ikan's sort of feet, to be honest. It could be fear, it could be patience, only time will tell.
And I think Ikan, knowing that Jodgers is very good at looking for that tech, those barrels, we've already seen a little bit of a start to what we could be seeing later on in this set. Those barrels are going to be very interesting if you're able to control them, and you got to be careful. The focus, I think, is going to be a major issue. Single hits a lot of times from Diddy Kong, so really a lot of your juggles aren't going to be really easy to secure here.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Useful thing about FD, however, Jodgers taking the first stock. Got to be very happy with that one, but Ikan just feeling it out, all right. Got to shake off that jet lag. Interesting about being here on FD is that, you know, normally we just assume, oh, right, FGC, that's got to be nice for them, all right. Very little room to run away, very easy approach options. However, Diddy Kong finds it so easy to lock down terrain in this flat surface that it can make Ikan's approaches a little bit annoying. It's not the easiest way to get in aerially as that Ryu. So we're going to see who sort of gets the upper hand in this terrain matchup there.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you mean. It can be a huge detriment to Ikan if he's not careful about banana placement. Right now it's just an edge guard he's got to figure out. I like the ledge cancels and a little bit of the planking here from Jodgers. He's still got to figure out how to stay alive here because Ikan is starting to bear down. He's taking a little bit too much extra credit damage, but I do like the movement here from Jodgers. He seems to be evasive enough to make it work.
Yeah, certainly is. I do like what you mentioned about that sort of like ledge flanking. That it's good, but it's only going to work for so long. Ikan's going to figure it out eventually, and then he's going to start punishing you very heavily for it. So we're going to see if Jodgers can kind of push it to its limit and then switch it up, or if Ikan's just going to make him regret it.
Right. We're already seeing a little bit of air dodges forced out from Jodgers. We're basically just seeing a couple of tech situations as well, where now we're really going to be able to get a lot off of this, and that's going to be the straight up short. You can very nice, using the rage to its fullest extent.
I think I saw that one on my 3DS back in the day. Jesus Christ, as it was looking very, very good for Jodgers, but suddenly one maneuver and Ikan has found it, taken that game in his hands. And now Jodgers on the back foot, going to see if he can push it all the way, holding that banana as well.
I love the mix-ups, going for Hadouken, then to Shakunets. They're still doing the right things, knowing that you can create pressure on that shield. And this time, Ikan doing the right thing, going for short hop heights, trying to make sure he's avoiding those barrel explosions. Jodgers has been pretty aggressive with that option thus far.
Yeah, Sonny, as this could be a nice difference maker right now. Sent all the way down that banana, not quite enough as the focus recovery. Going to make it back into the stage. Jodgers a little bit too scared to go for a ledge trap right there, but you know what? I don't blame him at all. He's more than happy to play reactionary. He's got the speed, he's got the mobility. He can dance around this Ryu as much as he wants.
And you talked about tech. I can see it. The two frames are starting to take shape. Jodgers is doing a great job getting these edge guards started and secured. I'm definitely wondering, because both of them are looking for aggressive shielding. They're running up shielding, and some of them are just getting grabbed for it. It feels like we're just getting a couple of those situations where the defensive options are getting beaten enough. Ikan getting caught by some of the banana too. Now you can see he's frozen in shield.
Yep, just absolutely stunned there. Jodgers more than happy to dance around, but Ikan just needs to get his hands on him.
Exactly, trying to throttle this monkey, trying to figure out, can he actually get back from this? And a little bit of pressure. He's going inside the stage, tried to poke that shield just in case. You know, Jodgers has been pretty solid on his edge guards. We got to make sure that we make it harder for him to get
just
those.
a little bit aggressive on the trigger right there, and that's going to be the punish. Ikan takes game one.
Pretty nice stuff. I always find that it's just those nice little hit confirms that when you're an FGC player, you see it and you get red in the eyes. You just instantly have that trigger
smell
finger.
blood in the water.
Exactly. You know what's coming next. As soon as you get a landing aerial or a nice down tilt at the right spacing, you never know what's going to come afterwards, but it's definitely going to hurt.
As a dude who comes from a country where their top player is a Bayonetta, obviously I am like the first in line for being sick of Smash 4 jokes. But I gotta say, like, a Diddy Kong versus a Ryu on FD running up on aggressive shielding, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's
And
pretty
it's true.
Smash 4.
Well, we're going back to FD for game number 2. It makes sense because, I mean, we did see how well Jodgers was able to play the terrain, as you had aptly mentioned. Now we'll see if it's going to be a repeat. Ikan might have trailed a little bit in that first game, but he's certainly secured it in the end.
I really like how Jodgers is using these monkey flips, just like basically using it for just a single hit and then kind of retreating. It gives him sort of a conditioning ability where he's not able to just force Ikan to respond and punish. Instead, he can hit, he can run, he can hit, he can run, he can slowly build up damage, and then eventually he can SD.
I guess so.
Well, it's all right. We got this.
It's okay. I mean, yeah, still going to have to get some damage on the board just to make Ikan a little bit closer to death percent. I know Ryu kind of heavy, has some weight. I mean, Muscle's heavy. What can you say? But we are still trying to figure out, like, what is the play here? Getting around the shotgun nets, and then all of a sudden you can play with the imagination a little bit. I like it.
Well, this is where you want to go. You want to force him off stage. But the problem is Jodgers not really able to punish the low recoveries, and Ikan's now figured that out. It's okay because he can just reset and try and find kills from the center. My goodness, excellent maneuver from Jodgers there, and he's evened it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's those aggressive burst movement plays that you can get from Diddy Kong, not just in the monkey flip, but also in the up special. And I think those are going to be absolutely key here. We're seeing Ikan kind of swing for the fences a little bit. He doesn't often go for the focus punch. He actually kind of just charges it, waits. It's the conditioning tool, but oftentimes it's just not far behind. There's always something, and those fists are talking.
I think this is the problem with doing something like conditioning focus, is the fact that he tried it the first time and then he just went for the punch and it fucking worked and he just got a kill. It's like, well, okay, the whole point was I was going to condition you into then getting the punch, but I guess we're just hitting the ground running.
Guess so. All right, yep, and then we get a nice aerial connection. That's what we want to see. The conversions are clean. Ryu with a lead with banana in hand. This is daunting.
Very, very dangerous right now. Jodgers brought it back the first stock, but alas, Ikan seems to be running away with it right now, forcing him right into the sky. And now Jodgers is one bad interaction away from death. That could have been it, but just not enough. As finally thrown off to the side, Ikan with a convincing game too.
Yeah, that last stock was absolutely phenomenal from Ikan. He really found one of those great landing nairs, and then it just all led into itself after that. The resets were pristine. I will say Jodgers kind of like tried to find the escape route, but no matter what, Ikan was bearing down and literally relentless.
That was basically carried him from one side of the stage to the other. It was very, very violent. Jodgers, however, I think you shake that one off, to be honest. I mean, you're going up against a very daunting threat, but hey, you know, you made a mistake, you SD'd halfway through, and you're keeping it competitive. So clearly, there's a puzzle piece here. Clearly, there's a way in. I think he is considering the stages right now. I personally like FD. I think it's going well, but going to see if small battlefield can maybe do the thing.
I will say, I mean, I know Ryu can get enough of a platforms that he's not opposed to going here. But I find that you mentioned how banana can be an issue on FD, but I think that if Diddy Kong is able to play around those platforms significantly better, which I think the potential is there. Yeah. We already saw the gears turning a little bit, but now that we're adding platforms to the equation, I think this could be a very interesting game 3.
Well, let's see what we can do. It's a little bit of a slow start right now. I can immediately just barreling down for that banana as able to make it through. Actually trying to punish the recatch. Good awareness from Ikan right there just to keep Jodgers guessing.
Certainly, he's laser focused, only has one thing on his mind, and now he's getting a little bit of damage taken on, but again, he's finding the get off me tools necessary. We are going to get a little bit outspaced here by Diddy Kong. That up smash can be rather dangerous.
Just absolutely going wild with the monkey flips right there. But it's fine. Like, it's Ryu. He can't really keep up with it. There's not really... Well, I was about to say there's not really anything in the Street Fighter games, but I think Rashid was released pretty recently.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Actually, it's all right. This is before that. This is before
Somebody
SF6.
give Ryu Drive Rush.
Somebody help him out. Save this man. As a couple of focus cancels. What I like about these platforms, actually, is it really does mix up the movement quite a lot. Having a lot more sort of like vertical mobility to sort of shift those tiers. It's very nice for Jodgers, but alas, Ikan just keeping up with the pace, just dancing the steps, making the moves.
Absolutely, and there's that tech you were talking about earlier. It's the B reverse peanut pop gun, bobbing and weaving, that I think is going to be allowing Jodgers to potentially help outmaneuver Ikan. He has some good air drift in Diddy Kong, and Ryu, sometimes he can find it a little bit hard to get in, break this zone. But we're not seeing Jodgers zone enough, I find.
Not really, not really, it would seem, as he is keeping the distance. That's the thing. Jodgers is picking when he wants to engage, but Ikan just more than happy to respond as the banana drop coming through. There's the focus to get back onto stage, and the grab comes through as well. Great reversal coming out from Ikan there.
Now the ability to actually take that hit on the focus and go right back in, get a grab off of a tomahawk, off that cancel focus. And again, we're finding the pressure is just too much for Jodgers to take.
Yep.
It's going to take another forced error here off stage. And now with banana in hand, it's crunch time. 3-1 lead. You've got to find something and quick.
Seems to be absolutely overwhelming in the case of Jodgers. Holding steadfast in that shield is our dear Ikan, but it might just be too little too late as the focus read comes out. Let's see if we can find a confirm. Not quite enough for DI from Jodgers, but it's a matter of time. The top punch comes out, but at least Jodgers not going down without a fight.
Exactly. I mean, you can see him falling out of that up smash, a bit unfortunate, but we get the stock regardless. If we can play this relatively safely, we're already not playing it very safely, but if we're able to, I can find that this could be a little bit closer. Ikan finding himself and running out of patience.
That's true. Ikan just forcing the escape route by going for those down tilts, knowing he's going to want to jump out, go to that platform for safety, but alas, can't quite catch him. Like you said, Diddy Kong's airspeed is a real nice tool to be able to use in this matchup, but it might just be too little too late to fix the project for our dear Jodgers. As good recovery, but alas, just a slight misinput means the game is done, and Ikan continues with no games dropped.
No games dropped, and he is that guy. He's continuing to prove why he is one of the best FGC players in the business. Excellent work from the Chicagoan. I'm very excited to see what happens next for him in this bracket. I'm sure you are as well, especially if you're tuning in from America. Shout-outs to y'all.
Exactly.
And this is going to be, I mean, a very good start to top 128. I hope that it will continue.